As everybody must know by now, the 8th console generation was the peak of video game reboots and remasters. Everybody's game series were being brought back from the dead, and game developers were just bringing back whatever they found during their spring cleaning. And there's not one day where you go on Reddit and you don't see a post about someone wishing for a remaster of the game from their childhood, where in fact, they weren't that good. But this isn't a video about how bad video game remasters and reboots are. By all means, they're great and give more players a chance to play games that they might have missed in the last console generation. This is a video just about a bunch of games that nobody has really thought of bringing back, and also highlighting some fan remasters that are being made that I feel should be appreciated more and supported more. So everybody wants remasters of the original 3 games, and that's all good. Saints Row 3 is already getting a remastered coming out next month. I'm super excited about that. And I've been a fan of the series for years. I've beaten all the games except for the first one, but we're not going to talk about that. And I didn't mind the crazy superpowered route the series was going for in this 4th game, and even the Get Out of Hell expansion. They were both super fun. However, since then, there hasn't really been anything. Sure, there's the Agents of Mayhem, but that's not what anyone wanted and was quickly forgotten. And you probably get it for $2 now, which is kind of sad. What I want is for them to go back to what they did in the 2nd and 3rd game and pretty much combine them, making this full-scale reboot of the game. You see, Saints Row 2 had the best gameplay, activities, open world, and customization. Being able to customize the way you walk, hundreds of customization for your cars and character, the whole feature of having the respect being tied to with your clothes, depending on how much purple you're wearing, having bonuses because of that, was really cool. And the 3rd did have great gameplay, had the best gunplay of all the games, and felt the freshest of them all. However, its open world felt a bit lacking and not lived in like Stillwater. What it did have, though, was the best characterizations of the boss, Gat, Shandi, and Pierce, and introduced a whole bunch of new characters that were for some reason not in the 4th game, which kind of sucked. So, if we put this and this together, it would result in one of the best crime-based open world games ever. So I played this game a year or 2 back only for a couple hours and picked it back up again this year because I remember enjoying it a lot, and I still do. However, I never really saw anybody talk about it when it came out, which is why a remaster or reboot or even a sequel would be great for the 9th generation. This game has such great lore and all these books filled with this stuff and information that you could read. I didn't, but I know someone will. The combat was really fun and simple, and it's super satisfying switching from 2 different weapons with a press of a button. X, use whatever weapon you were using, mainly the chakras I was using, it was fucking badass. Felt like Axel from Kingdom Hearts 2. Or another weapon, a sword, a bow, or a staff that had magical powers. It was really, really cool, and made for fresh combat. The Fate takedowns were super brutal and badass. Sure, they're quick time events, but still, awesome nonetheless. And while yes, I know the studio is now gone from not paying the taxes or some shit, THQ still holds the rights to this game, and Lord knows we could use anything other than Darksiders games right now. Like, come on, you're remastering all these other garbage ass games when you have a little pot of gold sitting right there. Like, come on. And just so we're clear, I love Darksiders 1 and 2. 3 was okay. Darksiders is not a bad game, okay? Don't get mad. So yes, Sonic hasn't really had a good run in a while. His games have just been getting from to bad to even more to oh okay, and then again. So yeah, as a kid I grew up as a huge Sonic fan, watching playthroughs of all the games, writing my own little book connecting all the games together, listening to all the soundtracks over and over, and especially this one. I fucking loved Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. Yes, I played the first one, but I was more connected to the second one since it was kind of more streamlined for a kid for me. Plus, it had this really cool gravity feature where every time you used it, it actually changed the song. It's really cool. I played countless times, even 100% as a kid, which is a very big deal for not just me back then, but me right now. Because I played it like a year or 2 back, and oh my god, you have to grind a lot in that game. So, good job, small me. And while yes, it's one of the weaker ones of the 2, and yes, of the 2, because we don't talk about the other one, because that was a piece of shit. However, Sonic Riders had a very interesting idea, and I wish they'd really go back and bring it back instead of these generic kart racers. And yes, I know they might be pretty good. Transformed was a pretty good game. I don't know about Team Racing or the first kart racer or whatever, but nothing is as hype as this. So yeah, the gameplay of the first game with the soundtrack of the second one, with a couple new features, maybe bring back the gravity mechanics, not have it so basic and dependent on the gameplay, just have it like a little tiny feature, would be super cool and just perfect. So yeah, those are 3 reboots I could really think of. I'm sure there are more, but there's brief. I don't really want to talk about what I want, because no one cares what I want, let's be honest. The point of the video is I wanted them to take a moment and talk about some fan-made remasters, and something I just barely found out about, and I thought it'd be nice to share with you, since maybe you might be a fan of these games as well and you didn't really know that they were happening. So here goes. Okay, now guys, I swear I'll stop fucking choking on this game's dick, but hear me out. A group of modders made this mod for the first game, make huge improvements for it, making it super balanced so you can be able to play it in competitive, adding more music, refining some mechanics and such. It's all great, so check it out if you're remotely like or interested in Sonic Riders as much as I do. Fortunately, I can't because I'm working with this. So yeah, please enjoy and support the creators of this great project. So yeah, most of these are going to be mods because no one can really make a whole ass game with someone else's IP, but yeah. This is a really, really good one, and I've been keeping my eye on this one for a while because it's Fallout 3, and it's my favorite game of all time. I first played it when I was in the 5th grade, which, yeah, that says a lot, but I love this game to death. I know New Vegas exists, and I played it, and I love it, but I've always had a soft spot for Fallout 3. However, this remastered has been having a bit of a rocky development, with it being cancelled because of music licensing and a whole bunch of other shit, but they're really passionate about this project. Hell, they've redone all of the voice work all on their own. Having not being able to use the original voices in the game, they're redoing them all by themselves. And that's a big fucking deal. All I know so far is that they're still trucking along, and that's fine by me. Also, shout out to the New Vegas Remaster too, and it's looking very crisp and very good. Both of these mods are ones that you should be keeping an eye on. While yes, it's been around for a hot minute, it's actually going to go on full release, I think. I saw a post about it, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, I know everyone loves this game. I never really played it because I never had an N64 or whatever. But I'll be looking forward to playing it eventually and slapping some people as a little person. That's the point of the game, right? That's all I've seen people do, right? So yeah, it turns out that Golden Eye Source actually came out like fucking 2 years ago or whatever. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, or where I thought about this, or why I didn't even fucking fact check this. I was in the middle of editing and I found that out. But yeah, and it also was already remastered for the 7th console generation. So yeah, let's talk about something else. It's hard to remember a time where me and my friends in elementary school would not talk about San Andreas. I know this game, you know this game, so the fact that fans are completely remastering is great. I know it's basically just like a graphic mod, and those have been around forever, and you could basically remaster any game with these graphic mods, but the amount of care and support is going into this project is genuinely great, and I can't wait for the final project to come out and see the greatness of San Andreas once again. So originally I was going to stop the video right here, talk about some reboots I'd like to see, and some remasters fans are making right now. So a quick video discussing this stuff. But since then, it's been a while since I wrote this video. And since then, I completed Final Fantasy VII Remake, which made me want to talk about more about this topic. So yeah, we're going to talk about some more remakes that have actually been made and been played, and how some of them, for some reason, haven't been making fans angry. I don't know why. So let's start with FF7. I've only ever beaten Final Fantasy 15. I've never been a fan of the series despite constantly trying. So this remake seemed like the perfect jumping on point for somebody that has never experienced the world's most famous JRPG. And I was wrong. That being said, I enjoyed it immensely. No spoilers obviously, but I enjoyed the game. A solid 8 out of 10. Gameplay was great, story was really intriguing, the characters were great. Some cringy lines, dialogue here and there, but whatever. It was still a great game. However, from what I've been seeing, a small group of fans didn't really like the changes made. And that's something I've been noticing a lot with game remakes these days. With the RE3 remake that just recently came out, not even a couple weeks before the Final Fantasy remake. Yeah, there were some changes made, and most fans were happy. However, the general gamer audience was kind of mad about it, because it was a $60 game that was only 6 to 7 hours, but fans loved it. So the question is, what makes the perfect remake? RE2 was a great answer to that, but RE3 didn't hit the same. Ratchet & Clank remake from a couple years ago played great, but the story was kind of botched because of the movie tie-in. I initially started this video trying to appreciate video game remakes more, seeing how they're really great jumping on points for people that are interested in series but never had a chance to play them. Having these remakes be the perfect versions of these stories, kind of, almost, sort of. But after further inspection, you can't satisfy everyone, which kind of sucks. Like I said before, these games are being made into the best versions they could possibly be. Sometimes, like I said. Making it easier for more people to experience these stories. And the only reason I didn't like Resident Evil back then were the tank controls. And RE2 got me deep into the series, having played all the mainline games in the series since then, and I've loved it. RE2 was a great jumping on point for me. I mean, enjoy RE4, 5, not really 6, but yeah, I enjoyed all of them. I couldn't get into Final Fantasy because of turn-based combat, which is why I played Final Fantasy 15 and I enjoyed it. And the direction they took with the remake was great. Gameplay was fun, satisfying, and I felt like there was some tactics going on during the gameplay. I never understood the hate towards change. Change is good. Like the original is still there. All I'm saying, video games are cool and video games should be experienced by as many people as possible. Just because they change the details of one of your beloved games doesn't make the product worse. Hell, I've been a huge fan of Ratchet & Clank my whole life. That was the first video game I ever played as a kid. And the remake didn't make the original worse or better. It just made another game for more people to experience. My little cousin played it and he loved it, and now since then he's played more of the games. All I'm saying is quit being mad about change. Change is good, and let's just have fun. Let's encourage more of these remakes. That being said, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.